The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Hello and welcome to Dear Download, a podcast about Download Festival, music and the industry, and all other aspects related to rock and heavy metal. This episode is the second part of our Download Festival 2025 review. Part 1 we covered the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. This episode we're going to be covering Saturday and Sunday and probably a load of other stuff. I've got a big list of things written down that happened as well that I want to just bring up before we get past the review. Anyway, I'm waffling. I'm chatting breeze. I'm chatting breeze, as Simon would say it. I am Adam, and as always, I am here with Simon. How are you doing, my man?
Hello, and good day to you, sir. Good, hot, sweaty summer to you, sir.
It is another hot, sweaty summer day, yes. It's only been a week this time since we last spoke, so probably not too much has happened, but has anything happened? When vlog?
Nothing of note. The vlog will be out by the time this comes out. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I did say before, I didn't want to rush one out this year that I really wasn't happy about. There seems to be a thing with download vloggers. Well, I mean, there's fucking thousands of them now, but everyone wants to get their video out as quickly as possible. And sometimes that works, but sometimes you don't really get the sort of quality that you want out of the video because you have to get it out so quickly. So I've decided to totally not do that this year. Take time with it, edit it properly to the levels that I want, use the footage, really trim the fat and get it out. So yeah, I'm really happy with this one. Much happier than I was with last year's. So yeah, that should be out by now. What else has happened? We played a gig in Wales. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I was
played
message you.
Yeah, played in Pontypool. That was good fun. That was great.
Nice.
It was really good. Nice little venue. The guy who runs it and owns the place is lovely as well. So hopefully we'll be able to go back and play with some more bands. There's a couple of bands I want to take there to play as well because it's such a cool little venue. And yeah, that's it really. Just we're in talks with stuff. We now know we're going back into the studio in August to record 2 more tracks. So
nice.
Actual tracks, not a demo track like we did last time and tried to make it into a single. Actually fully properly recording 2 singles for release, and hopefully will come music video with that. We're not sure which track that's going to be for, but yeah, so a lot of band stuff happening. Apart from that,
cool.
Nada, mate. What about you?
Loads of questions first before we get on to me. Right. Okay. First of all, when you go into a studio and record, what is the difference between a demo track and an actual track? To me, I mean, I've never done that. Like, sort of, you just play the same stuff as you play it the way you normally do it.
No, a demo track would be, it's like sort of a more loose. You're almost sort of coming up with the ideas while you're doing them. So you'd record a demo to see if the track works, if it's good enough to record properly. Most people, we would record most of the demo here in my little home studio. But like drums and stuff, you do that in the studio. So the original track that we released, Hope Is Damned, we will record that properly again for an EP when we actually get round to it. But that was only supposed to be a demo to send to promoters to get gigs. It wasn't actually supposed to be a single, wasn't supposed to be heard by anyone else because it was rough. And it sounded, even though it's good.
Yeah, you got something.
Yeah, it sounds good, but
form now.
But it sounds rough as well. Like I listen to it and I go, "That's fine," but we're much better than that. And it's a demo, so it wasn't supposed to go out. But we thought, hey, we've got something. We might not go back to the studio for like 5 or 6 months. Let's just put it out there. But yeah, loads of bands.
The amount of time you put into it.
Yeah, like loads of bands. Sometimes the demo versions are more raw though. Like you listen to one of the ones that sticks like prevalently in my memory is a band called Finch. They done their extended version of What It Is to Burn, their album, and they had the demo version of What It Is to Burn. And like the actual song on the album version of that is amazing, but the demo version, the dirty bit is 10 times more disgusting than it is on the actual studio version. So sometimes when you're not trying as hard, you kind of get something out of it. It feels more raw. And when you're
Yeah.
trying to polish something more for the studio, I think sometimes it loses like a little bit of feeling. So, but I used to love hearing. I remember listening to Korn's demo version of Blind, completely different, like
Right.
really weird, not quite, doesn't have the same sort of groove. So sometimes the demo version is like, this sounds good, but then when you go into studio, they're like, right, listen to the demo. How can we make that better? So,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
it probably doesn't happen in the studio anymore. Most bands would just do it at home, record the demo,
Yeah.
and then take it to the studio.
Cool. Now I know.
Sorry,
Thank
I'm
you.
babbling.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was babbling on then. I could have started talking
most
forever.
of that's gonna be cut out. I'll just have like a short two word answer. Cool. Thank you. That's good to know. Really good to know. But yeah, with the vlog, I mean, I was going to say, it's like you are well known enough to be able to take your time now. I mean, I remember 2 or 3 years ago, you were saying like, you've got to get it out quickly. You've got to be one of the first to get it out. But I think you are probably lucky enough to be in the boat where you can take a bit more time because people still watch it. You sort of built up that fan base now.
I've got messages from people saying, I'm waiting. And I'm like, that's not tooting my own horn, but I've worked really hard to get where I am at the moment. So it is kind of crazy that people are now like, I want this vlog. They'll actually wait for it. And as I've said before, my vlogs are not the best vlogs out there. They're definitely not. I'm not a vlogger. Much more comfortable sitting there talking to the camera. Not a proper vlogger at all. But people are still saying, where is this download vlog? So that does make me feel really good that, I don't have to get it out straight away, which is fantastic. But yeah.
Yeah, cool. But I will enjoy watching that when you put it out, I think. Yeah, definitely.
You're in it quite a bit. So
yeah,
you're
did
good.
say before we came on.
Very good. Yeah, there are some really funny bits in there. I really enjoyed editing this vlog because I was cracking up most of the time while I was editing it. So yeah, it's good.
Awesome. I love that when I edit the podcast and I'm just giggling to myself. It's like more often than not one of my own jokes. Like, people look, especially when I put the SMTV 10 bit in an episode recently. I just went over and stole like 3 seconds of Stu saying SMTV 10. I just laughed the whole time I was cutting that and putting it in the audio, just laughing to myself.
Those are the best bits, though. Those little bits you throw in. There's a couple in this vlog that I put in, like hilarious clips and stuff to make stuff better. And I was just creasing while I was doing it. I was like, "That's great. People are gonna love that." So I get it.
Yeah. When I put that in, I was thinking to myself, I really hope there's like a tea out of the nose incident for somebody as they hear this. And I didn't announce that anywhere. And Alexander, he did put in the Discord, thanks for that, guys. Now I have Red Bull all over my steering wheel and legs, or something. I was like, yes. Not only did I pull it off, but he told me that it was successful as well. So if it happened to anybody else, let me know because I would love to know.
Well, actually, you've just reminded me to read something out because when we said in the last episode, obviously if you haven't heard it, go back. We were saying about Brie and her boyfriend listen to us when they're asleep. And I tried to put that subliminal message in that you were cracking about. I got a message from her on Instagram that just said, I've woken up today with a distinct urge to pay money into your bank account. And I was like, amazing. I was like, wow, that's so weird. So I'm really glad that she enjoyed that because that was great.
Awesome. Yeah, that was cool. Yes. So anyway, asking me what I have done the last week. Absolutely nothing. I don't think just gone to work my ass off in the heat. But I walk around all day for a living, but I have walked less far than I did when I was at Download. I don't fuck that up. Look. I don't know if you've looked back. I expect most people.
Oh, I did. Yeah, a lot of walking.
Yeah. I walked 55 miles over between Wednesday and Sunday.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of walking. That was but in a hot year, you always seem to walk around more, don't you? I'm sure if we compare the data, if you're American, with last year, it would be a hell of a lot less last year because you don't want to walk around in terrible weather. So.
Yeah, but to be honest, I mean, I haven't seen people putting out this year. I remember seeing people put up stuff either last year or the year before. And mine was probably about the same, 55 to 60. It's pretty standard. We camped in roughly the same place. But there were people putting their steps up, and they did like 70 to 80 miles. And I'm like, how the hell do these people do it? I walk all day, every day, and I was
do you know how they do
struggling.
it? Because they're probably really young. That's why.
Good point.
Yeah. You should have seen how much I was bopping around Download 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You'd have been like, Jesus Christ, someone's put a firecracker up your arse because you're everywhere. Now I'm like, everyone, let's just sit down and stay here in this one place.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say wanking then. I thought you were going to say wanking with their phone still in their pocket and wanking through their pocket and the phone's jiggling up and down. It's like, you've just walked 7 miles in 3 minutes.
That's what it is. There's so much masturbating going on at Download.
That's where my brain went.
People's phones think, oh, God, they're doing some really fast walking. No, they're just wanking while bands are on, apparently.
Yes. Anyway, so we were just chatting before coming on, and we were talking about how we don't go off on random tangents anymore, or not anywhere near as much. And I think that wasn't planned. We didn't decide to do that. That just happened. So anyway, we should start talking about the rest of the review for Download Festival 2025.
Yeah.
I don't know
before we lose any more listeners. Let's get onto the subject.
Yeah. I probably don't need to say that every time, but I've never actually looked into SEO. So I just go, I'm just guessing, and I'm like, oh, if I keep saying it through the episode, AI will go, this is about Download Festival 2025.
Good stuff. And do you know what? You've just given that secret away to other people point. Now.
Yeah.
Good one. Good one. No, I'm joking.
Cool. So we covered the first few days, starting Saturday morning. What did we do? Let's have a look. I'm going to get the bands up again, I think. But let me just look through my notes really quickly as well and see if I got anything. My phone's playing. See if I got anything written that is related to Saturday morning or Saturday in general. But I was pretty shattered. I was knackered on Saturday. So you remember I said Friday I did the walk from the campsite to the arena and back 3 times.
Yeah.
And on the day I was like, yeah, I can do this. It's fine. I don't mind walking back, but I was fucked on Saturday. And I was like, why did I do that? Because I'm not young anymore. So, I actually really struggled for the rest of the weekend because I was pretty knackered. I mean, like you said, the heat wouldn't have helped either.
No. Yeah, I've definitely got... It's kind of weird. Like, even the bad weather years, they don't drain you as much as the hot weather years do. Like, you've got more energy. It kind of balances out because I think you feel like you've got more energy because it's, this good weather and you want to go out and do stuff. But I still feel like sometimes I actually get more done on the bad weather years because you're not being hit by that sun all day and it's not draining your energy. So, yeah it is a balance. I don't know if it's quite worked out. But even though like I said to you, I was still feeling Wednesday up to when we last spoke. Like, until last week, Friday... I did not feel like a normal person until the day of the gig. I got up and I was like, oh my God, this is what it feels like to be normal again. What on earth has happened?
Amazing.
So, yeah, it like literally done me in. But to be fair, I had plenty of energy right up to the Sunday evening this time. I don't know how I done it, but I did suffer for my craft. I did suffer. So, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm on.
Well, so I just remember what I did Saturday morning. So me and Kelly, we were up super early. We wanted to get into the arena super early to get a really good spot for Sophie Lloyd.
I tell you what, man, that Sophie Lloyd was really, really popular this year, wasn't she? Like, I thought, I went on listening to her, I thought, yeah, she's good, but man, all those people waking up that early just to get there for Sophie Lloyd, amazing. She must have been so grateful to everyone. So well done, guys. Well done for everyone getting into Sophie Lloyd. Great stuff.
It was nothing to do with that prick Heafy, which is what I was calling him for the rest of the weekend from this point on.
I mean, Sophie Lloyd is a hottie, but I didn't know she was that hot. that almost the entirety of Download had to be there for a set.
You know, skipping over Trivium for a minute, we will come back to it, but I'm glad we went for her because she was actually really good.
Yeah, I didn't go, but I saw clips and we listened to her music. She's obviously an insanely good guitar player and a hottie, obviously. So, I mean, yeah, two things that go really well together. And yeah, she's fucking awesome. So, yeah, I'm glad that first band on the second stage, loads of people just happened to be there for it. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, so if anybody is unsure what we were alluding to with that prick Heafy, he put a post out on was it the Friday evening? I think it was the Friday evening. I
didn't hear about it till I woke up and all you lot were talking about it. So they might have, but I didn't look at social media the previous night because I think everyone else had an early night on Friday, but me and Vicky went out, just me and Vicky.
Yeah.
So I think that you lot would have been looking at social media, but we definitely weren't because we were out till like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I went out to watch Funeral for a Friend.
Oh, yes, you did.
But then came back after that. Like I said, I was out in the doghouse every single night. I don't know how.
It's very unlike you as well.
Could be another reason why I was so knackered. But yeah, so he put a post out. It was just a black and white image of him. I'm pretty sure it must have been on the second stage. Probably the last time he played would have been headlining the second stage, would it? I can't actually remember.
No, they were support on the main stage, weren't they, in like 2022, I think?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, everyone was expecting, because there was a big gap. There was a big gap on the Saturday morning on the second stage. Everyone was assuming that Trivium were going to be a secret set. And I think that must have been quite early on the Friday he put that out, because then Friday, no, hang on, I'll ignore that. Yeah, there was a big gap on the Saturday on the second stage, so everyone rushed there expecting Trivium to be doing a secret set, and basically I had a hard on because I thought I'd predicted it correct a week before download. So I wasn't listening to Reason or anything like that. I was fucking right, because I said I've been saying for ages they should do a secret set first thing in the morning, and when there was a big gap, I was like, okay, that's going to be, I think I said that's going to be Ghost as part of like their contract for headlining next year.
Yeah.
Or
Trivium. Which we've already talked about, yeah.
Yeah, or it'll be Trivium, because it's been 20 years since they did their first ever 2005 set, when they opened the main stage, and it was one
legendary
of the best.
set.
Yeah, absolutely legendary. So I was like, yeah, it could be Trivium doing that set again, doing the same songs. And then when he put that out, I was fucking right. So yeah, we went down there. But what? So yeah, we got down there pretty much just on time, like 5 minutes before 11, which was when all the other stages were starting. And we stood there waiting. No, we sat there waiting. We took our chairs, sat there. And then Will C, I think it was Will, put in the WhatsApp message, WhatsApp chat that we've got. He was like, "Oh yeah, maybe he's coming out with Sophie Lloyd because he does a song with her."
Yeah, I saw that.
Why has nobody said this? Like, there was posts about that, like his post all over social media, and I didn't see anybody picking up on that. And I'm like, that could have been good to know. So at that point, we were all assuming he was going to be coming out with Sophie Lloyd. And he didn't. he still didn't. But yeah, so when we realised it wasn't going to be them, we went and got some food. It was pretty cool. I went to so we need to talk all about food later on once we've done these 2 days, because there was some good food there. But yeah, we went to it was like a smokehouse barbecue thing near the second stage, and that was pretty good. And then what happened? So we stayed for Sophie Lloyd, walked back to the campsite with our heads ashamed, walked back ashamed of ourselves, not wanting to look Simon in the eye. You were just there laughing. You said you were just there laughing at everybody. How was Trivium?
No, that's when we were walking to the arena.
Okay.
We were just all the people walking back, and there were a few people with Trivium shirts on. We were like, "How were they? They good?" just trying to annoy everyone we possibly could. I don't know. Like, I had a not that I think I predict, but I had a feeling that it wasn't. I was like, I don't know if this is going to happen. Like, That's why I stayed at the tents, because I was like, I don't know about this one. And it didn't happen. Not saying I predicted it. I had a feeling that it wasn't true, and it turned out to not be true, obviously.
Yeah. It was weird to have such a big gap on that stage, though. Because Sophie Lloyd started at 12:15, I think it was. So that's an hour and 15 minutes after all the other stages. And that's why everyone's always going to be secrets.
Yeah, maybe they needed to do it, to do something. I don't know. But yeah, obviously, if you walked all the way down there, but anyway, yeah, hope you enjoyed getting baked in the sun for no reason.
Yeah. And because we were rushing so much, I hadn't put any sun cream on or anything. And I was sat there, I could feel my ears burning, my nose was burning, but I knew we were going to be coming back to camp. So I did actually put in the WhatsApp group as well. Is anybody near the second stage with sun cream? Sort of 90% of the people around us would have had sun cream. That we probably, anybody we could have asked would have had it. But I just wasn't feeling that social that time of the morning at that point. So some people did reply to me with a few things. And I never actually got back to them because I knew we were going to be going back to get our stuff anyway. So yeah, thank you if you did reply to that, and that's the reason why we weren't suffering, and we weren't suffering in there all day. We knew we were going to be going back. But yeah, so I'm just trying to think, what did we do after that? I need to get. What did you do Saturday morning?
Saturday morning, woke up quite early because Vicky was going back home, so she wasn't staying for the Saturday. She was doing the Friday and the Sunday. So I woke up. First of all, I woke up and cooked some bacon because I bought some rolls and some bacon the night before. So I put that in the cool box. Woke up, cooked some bacon. So me and Vicky had some bacon rolls. She had that. Then I walked her back to the car park. She went. Then I came back and actually started drinking pretty early. Me, Tom, and Adam were on the download juice pretty early, to be fair.
Download juice.
We were on the download juice pretty early. Thanks to Stu for the download juice.
What was that? I don't think I had any of that.
It was apple sours, so you definitely had some of it.
Okay, yeah, I did. You got download juice.
He printed a label on it and put download juice, which is perfect because it takes you to Heartburn City, which is where you want to go, and then you use the Rennies to get out of Heartburn City.
Yeah.
So that's just that standard download procedure. And then you lot all went off to go and see the Invisible Band, and then we said, okay, we stayed, had some beers, and we went to get in for Loathe was our first band. So
okay,
yeah, we were like we're going to get in for Static Dress, but then something happened. Someone went off. We had to wait. I can't remember what happened, so we missed Static Dress, unfortunately. Which is someone that we did want to see, our little group. But we got in for Loathe, which was great. So before they finished, but Loathe got cut off at the end, even though people were saying bands were behind or something on the Saturday. I don't quite know what had happened. That's what I heard. I don't know if that was true.
I think so, because when we were there, all the other stages were meant to start at 11, and it got to like 5 past, and I was like, I can't hear any bands on. So I assumed the main stage was a little bit behind.
Maybe it was, because Loathe got cut off, and that's actually the second time I've seen Loathe cut off. Loathe got cut off at the pilot as well. They were playing at the pilot, and they were like, "Yeah, we can't do the last song. We got to go." And the same thing happened. So this is the second time I've seen them at Donington, and the second time they've had their last song cut. So I would have been interested to see what that was. But yeah, they were great. Played some of the new stuff. Because they've got a new album coming out, and obviously the last album was like 2021, so it was ages ago, or 2020 even actually. Let this in, it took everything might be, but yeah, so I was thrilled, and they played loads of good old stuff, and yeah, awesome, great band. So yeah,
nice.
That was the first thing we were in for, and then Loathe straight into Hatebreed. Holy hell, what a band! What a band! Like, they absolutely blew me away. I've seen them for years on and off. They blew me away at Bloodstock last year, and this download show was exactly the same. They were just amazing. And the best thing about this show was no one plays metal like this anymore. Like the hardcore, type. It is metalcore, but it's actually not metalcore. It's hardcore metal, because it's more like hardcore than metal.
Yeah.
but it has metal breakdowns and slow stuff. And it was just great to see all these young faces that you could tell didn't know who Hatebreed were. Just
Okay.
fucking head banging. And
Yeah.
the pits were huge, because I think that they were like that kind of, metal now is all overproduced tech metal. But there's no real dirty, sludgy, just, oh, yes. With a big message and those sort of positive hardcore lyrics where you're like, yeah, fuck this, man. We're all in this together. Fuck the world. Let's all fucking break shit. Like, there's not really any real metal like that anymore in the mainstream. So I think the kids generally really, really enjoyed it, and their reception was brilliant all the way through. And I know people like my brother, who hasn't seen Hatebreed in years, he was like, dude, that was fucking awesome. I'm like, just such a great band. So it's just confirmed that I really, really want to go see Killswitch later in the year, because they got Hatebreed as main support.
Okay, nice.
And I think that will be a cracking gig. So I think there's a couple of other good support acts, but yeah, Hatebreed into Killswitch, that sold.
Yeah,
sold.
You know, I haven't seen Killswitch for many years now. And you just describing Hatebreed then made me really gutted I didn't see it. Because it's our generation's metal, it's
yeah. I didn't know if you would be watching, but I thought if there was no one playing that you probably might sort of hover towards Hatebreed, because it is our kind of it's our generation of metal. So like they're a band that play regularly, so you're not going to be upset about missing Hatebreed, because they will play somewhere again, so, and probably play Download again. So yeah, I would
cool.
But yeah, anyway, I won't babble on about him too much, but anyway, that was the beginning of my day, which was excellent, because Loathe were great and Hatebreed were amazing. So yeah, really good.
Awesome. Do you know what? Oh, we actually stayed for Kim Dracula after Sophie Lloyd as well. They might have been on maybe the same time as Hatebreed, roughly.
Probably around then, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I honestly think Kim Dracula is going to be very high up on the main stage within the next 3 or 4 years.
Okay. I heard good things. I saw pictures on someone had put up some. I don't have any of the Download group, so it must have been someone that I know on Instagram put pictures up and said, "Oh man, Kim Dracula was awesome." So
yeah, it was amazing. It was really good show. I don't know many of their songs. They actually introduced Jonathan Davis, but it was just the recording of him. I think it wasn't actually him. It's like, well, they're obviously playing tomorrow night. Did you actually manage to get him down? And they didn't. They didn't. But I mean, it's really hard, and I'm not sure if I should or shouldn't be shouldn't be comparing them to Marilyn Manson, because it's probably partly the looks of them and the way they dress and everything. But I think it's this generation's Marilyn Manson, so I think they're going to be as big as Marilyn Manson got.
Okay.
Just from how weird the music is, because like when Marilyn Manson first came, well, no, I don't actually know. I didn't know of Marilyn Manson when he first came around, but like when he was huge, the music they were making was completely different to anything else. So is Kim Dracula. I think it's completely different. There's a lot of hype about it. Saxophones in it, which is weird, but it works weirdly. So yeah, I think they're just gonna be pushed and pushed and pushed, and even main support on main stage at some point.
That's cool. Yeah, well, it's nice to know that. Yeah, nice to know bands coming up. So yeah, fair play to them.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then I think that's when we headed back to back to camp, because we didn't go in. Let's have a look. We didn't watch anybody on the Dogtooth stage that day. I wanted to get back in for Smash Into Pieces. We didn't manage to, though, I don't think, and I can't remember why. I can't remember what we were doing on a Saturday that we missed a lot of time. I think we just went for a wander around. I think looking around the stalls, because that's when it was just me and Kelly most of the day. Like when she got there the Friday, we were just basically in the arena for most of the day together, and we just wanted to walk around, have a look around and stuff. So we didn't get back in until part way through Don Broco. So yeah, we were out.
Oh, okay. So you
for
went
quite a while. Yeah. Anybody else you saw?
We saw Adam's a big Polaris fan, so we went to watch probably a good 3/4 of Polaris because Adam wanted to catch them, so that was good. We watched them; they were cool. Then on the way back, we watched a bit of Palo Royale, who I really like, and it turns out Tom really likes them as well, who we were camping with. I didn't know that, then we just started talking about them. So we caught a couple of tracks. They played my favourite track as well, Showbiz, and me and him were rocking out on top of the hill to that, so that was good.
Yeah.
And then we went to see The Darkness.
Oh, how were
who
they?
were bloody awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're always good, but like Adam, brother of mine, probably hadn't seen The Darkness in God knows how long. He might have said to me, might not have actually never seen them. But he's a Darkness fan, so surprisingly.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, dude, we can't. And this is the only, well, this and Sleep Token, but we'll get to that. Were the only two sort of bummer things that Vicky was missing, because she loves The Darkness and she likes Sleep Token. So she was a bit bummed out she didn't see The Darkness, so I haven't spoken about it too much because I didn't want to say, oh yeah, they were really good. But they were really good. Like I said before, their new album is stellar. So they played quite a few of the new tracks as well, which I was really happy about. So I was rocking out to those. And then they played the classics, Love Is Only a Feeling. What else did they play? All of the hits off of Permission to Land, which was great. Get Your Hands Off My Woman and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, Growing on Me, I Believe in a Thing Called Love. They even played, they were like, it's not Christmas, let's just play the Christmas fucking song anyway, and we can all pretend it's Christmas. So that was really great singing, Don't Let the Bells End on a boiling hot Saturday in the middle of June.
Yeah.
So and they were cracking up at the same time, so they were obviously having a lot of fun with. I know that this is their from listening to his podcast, this is their first sort of gig back for a little while. They've been off doing their own stuff.
Okay.
So I think that he was really they as a group were really looking forward to it because it was sort of like the gig back after a little while. So they looked like they were having a absolute blast the whole time. So but yeah, I won't babble on too much. Very good. Like The Darkness a lot.
Yeah, I was actually quite gutted that I didn't see them. I think, I've said many times before, I never liked them before. But they have grown on me quite a lot. I really would have enjoyed going to see them, I think. But Shinedown were on. Shinedown on the main stage before Sleep Token. One thing I want to say at this point, and I did say to you at the festival, so we were sat just sort of behind where the viewing platform is. There's a little ice cream van there. And when we were sat there, I saw somebody in one of our T-shirts go to the ice cream van, and I think they bought a Pepsi. And I was knackered, it was a little bit away, so I wasn't going to stand up and go running and saying, oh, thanks for wearing a shirt and everything. But that blew me away. I mean, we saw loads of people wearing our shirts the Wednesday and the Thursday. We played on the Wednesday. That would make sense. But for someone to pick a Dear Download shirt to wear into the arena on the band days, when there's
that is
many
cool.
band shirts they probably could have picked, that was really cool to see. So yeah, if that was you, I'm sure you're probably listening. If that was you, awesome, thank you. And I saw you. Don't worry, I clocked it.
I did see I didn't have time to go up to everyone, but even when people were like walking past me, all over down, I was like, oh, t-shirt.
Yeah,
I was like, that's pretty cool, man, to see people walk around in our shirts. And some of them weren't people that I recognized. So, and I'm sure people bought our shirts and had no idea who we are, but because it's such a nice shirt. Damn you, Broken Day Clothing bastards! Yeah, you've made a shirt that's so nice, people don't even care who we are; they just want a shirt.
It's like the whole debate when they're selling shirts in Primark, like people who don't. Yeah. If you see somebody wearing our shirt, go and ask them to name 3 episodes. If you're listening, name 3 episodes.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
I so wanted to do that. Well, I completely forgot over the weekend, but I wanted to go to somebody wearing a Download shirt and say, "Can you name 3 songs?" Just Download, because it'd be funny for me.
Name 3 lineups. I want 3 lineups. All right.
Are you even a fan of Download? You do. But yeah, sorry. Back to it. Shinedown. Absolutely incredible, as always. I was sat down for most of it. I was knackered, and I knew I wanted to stand up and actually watch Sleep Token, and I wouldn't have been able to stand up for the whole thing. He did make a lot of people cry. I've seen a lot of people say that. I shut my ears at that point. I didn't want to. Yeah, some people put in some of the chats that we've got, like, well, I wasn't expecting Shine Down. I wouldn't expect to be bawling my eyes out to Shine Down twice or something. But yeah, he's so good live. He's such a good sort of motivational speaker as well. He knows the right things to say. And that's kind of what I wanted to go for at the end of our live show as well. I wanted that kind of impact, but we're not Brent Smith. But yeah, Shine Down, absolutely amazing as always. I would see them anytime, every time. Doesn't matter who they're clashing with. Always go and see them. And I really do think they could headline. But they technically could headline. It just depends if they've got enough of a pull in this country.
I think they're a really great band. Not sure they could headline over here. Main support, no problem, because that will just keep getting them fans, because people would be there for Sleep Token. Headline, I'd say no. But, I mean, like, performance-wise, yeah. I mean, it's all there, isn't it? It's all there, ready to go. It's just that in America, I'm sure they could, because they're pretty damn big. Over here,
they have,
yeah, maybe not, but definitely and all I heard was good things about Shine. Like, I watched Shine Down in 2018, and all I had was good things to say about them.
Yeah,
but people were praising, saying they were the true headliner of Saturday.
Well, yeah, a lot of people. I mean, we're going to go into Sleep Token in a minute, so yeah, we can say this. A lot of people were saying, like, and were annoyed that Vessel didn't interact with the crowd at all, didn't say a single word. And they were saying, you want it's a performance. You want that from them, which is exactly what Shine Down give.
Yeah,
and so
that's probably
and that's what people want from a headliner.
And there was probably a big sort of juxtaposition from going from a band with a headline, with a singer that's all about crowd interaction, to going to a band that have no crowd interaction. And I think a lot of the Sleep Token fans are new fans. I'm not going to have a go at anyone for that, but people that haven't seen Sleep Token live obviously don't know that they don't speak to the crowd, but that's what Sleep Token have always done since their first gig in 2016. They don't interact with the audience. So I think it left some people feeling like, what the fuck? Like, why did they not say thank you, or at least acknowledge? And I'm there like, it's more of an art piece for them than a crowd interaction. They don't care about the crowd interaction. They just want to put on a show and keep the mystique. So yeah, I feel like that was a big talking point after the show. Definitely.
It was. I don't think I would have bitched. I don't think I did. I don't think I bitched about it. And I don't think I would, because I kind of get that. I don't know Sleep Token that much, but it is that the perfect way to put it. It's art for them. That the performance is art. It's not like I can't think of the right words, but yeah, that's exactly what I would expect from a band like Sleep Token.
Yes, so definitely. I mean, it's different because I've seen them 9 times before their headline, so I'm fairly used to seeing them. Used to seeing them not talk. But I could see why other people would be like, they're not saying much. No, they're not saying anything. In fact, yeah. So but yeah.
So let's move on to opinions. I wasn't the biggest fan of Sleep Token beforehand. Spoiler alert: this wasn't the same as Bring Me the Horizon 2023. I just assumed that I wasn't a fan, so their show wasn't for me, so I didn't enjoy it as much. It was quite cool. The stage show was, the stage was awesome, obviously. It was quite cool, but yeah, I didn't enjoy it that much. I just assumed people who did like them must have really enjoyed it. What do you think?
Well, you say that. I am a huge Sleep Token fan, and the stage looked great. The sound was okay. It wasn't as good as I would like it for Sleep Token. I think that it was missing a little bit. Stage looked great. Their performance was good. The crowd enjoyed some parts of it. The older stuff, I think people were a bit like, hurry up and get to the new stuff.
Right.
That's what it seemed like to me. It definitely, in the group of people 50 people surrounding me. I was the only one singing the old songs.
Okay.
So obviously it's a lot of new Sleep Token fans. And again, not mocking anyone for that. When you get into a band, that's when you get into a band. I was just one of the people that somehow discovered them early. But yeah, it's just, there was nothing wrong with the performance. It really wasn't what I thought it could be. I thought it was going to be something huge, something that was going to grip people's attention, something where people were going to go, wow, this is so weird and different and great. And it just wasn't that in the end. It was a good headline performance. Will it be remembered fondly and up there with the best performances to download? Definitely not. Is it one of the worst performances to download? Definitely not. So it kind of just sits in that middle, they headlined download thing. And I think they tried to do everything they could. But sometimes this is what happens. Sometimes not everything comes together to be perfect. And I know a lot of people went away from the show thinking that it was great. But if you compare it to Green Day or Korn, it doesn't stand a chance against those two shows. It just doesn't measure up to them at all. In attendance, I'm not going to mock them for that, but in attendance or performance, it just wasn't to the levels of the other two. Obviously, we'll get to Korn, but yeah, so sits middle to bottom for Sleep Token performances. And I said it when we were there. I've seen some absolutely captivating Sleep Token performances where I'm like, holy shit, this band are fucking mega and they are going to take over the world. And that kind of is happening, but it didn't have that impact at download, unfortunately. I'm not going to blame anyone for it. Just everything has to be perfect for that to happen. Yeah,
okay. So as a non-fan, I would have said something along the lines of maybe what they do just doesn't translate to such a massive performance, to such a massive stage like that. I don't know. Maybe they can pull it off in the future sometime. I have one gripe, one very, very big gripe, actually. So we've been going to download a long time. They never used to have screens. They never used to need screens. You could sit, pretty close to the stage. You could see the people on the stage. And as it got bigger, they introduced screens for the people at the back who couldn't see what was going on the stage. Sleep Token used the screens as part of their art. The screens aren't for your performance. They're not for your art. They're for the people at the back to see what the hell is going on the stage. And yeah, they shouldn't. I don't think they should have or should have been allowed to have. I mean, but Metallica did it as well, I guess.
Yeah, but they did show they used it for like intros and stuff, but then they showed the band.
Yeah,
they didn't do it for like whole songs from memory.
Yeah, but there's nothing too exciting going on the stage with Metallica anyway. It's just them playing the songs as well.
True, yeah.
But yeah, with Sleep Token, it was just like a red sort of weird effect on everything.
Yeah,
and it's like the people aren't going to enjoy it if they can't see it. So,
but like we were just saying, as a performance piece, it was excellent.
Yeah.
As a gig, it wasn't actually that excellent. So, they really care about the performance and the art and the little bits in between what happens just as much as the other things where you get a band like Korn and it's all about performance. They don't give a fuck what happens in between the songs. They don't care what's on the screens. They don't want to put any funky stuff. They do have stuff on there that looks cool, but that's not what it's about. It's about rocking out where, Sleep Token are a band, but they're all artists. They want to be seen in a certain way. And yeah, it's a performance piece as much as it is a gig. So I get that. Yeah. And yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, don't put shit on the screens. The reason they're there is so people at the back can see what's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I'm totally with you on that. Although I enjoyed the little bits in between, the little sort of corridor walks they done with all the big doors and stuff. And the stage looked great as well. It really did look like a beautiful sort of set piece. But yeah, just didn't add up for me to what I thought it could be. But I'm sure there's a lot of new Sleep Token fans out there that seeing it for the first time would probably have thought it was excellent. But I can tell you right now, if you listen to this, Sleep Token can be a lot better than that, and they will be again.
Okay,
I'm sure.
How close did you actually get for them? How far down did you go?
We were pretty close. Yeah, we were on the right-hand side. I mean, we weren't far back. We could see the stage with our own eyes. We didn't really need to look at the screen. I think we were in line with the big screen to
Okay.
the side, so we were right there. Yeah. So, I mean, for all headliners, I had a fantastic view
Yeah.
this time. Furthest back for Green Day, just because we went a really stupid way, and we were like, "Oh, we'll just stay here." But for Korn, really close for Korn. I mean, I was passing people over my head. Me,
You.
Adam and Vicky. That's how close we were. But yeah, for Sleep Token, still pretty close. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, nice. The other thing I wanted to mention about Sleep Token was I heard a lot of people saying they don't have the hits that other bands do. You know, maybe it's a little bit too early. I don't think they're going to have the same kind of hits as other bands. You know, they'll have big songs that people really like. Nothing like American Idiot, which has got so much energy straight away and it just gives the crowd energy. And I think that played a big part in it as well. Probably, you know, if everybody around you is going mental, you go mental. But
Yes.
yeah, so I think they didn't have the same effect because of that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's debatable, isn't it? You could they have waited a couple more years and got one more album under their belt? I mean, I know they've had big hits on the new one, and the last one had some big hits, but the first two, you know, you've got Alkaline on the first album. You know, any sort of Sleep Token fans, I'd say, name a big hit off the first album. There wasn't many hits off of it. It was just a really good, solid album. So really, they have, 3 albums to draw from material. So yeah, it does feel like... That's why I said to you, it was basically silent during some of the older stuff because people were like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, this song's great. Why is no one else going mental?
Yeah.
So yes, it kind of feels like that. And that moves on to the subject of, I mean, should they headline again is the question. And like we said, like it's lightning in a bottle because at the moment they are the big band.
Yeah.
Whether there'll be that same big band again in 2 or 3 years is debatable and sort of, you know, to see. We haven't got there yet. Did it work having them as headliner? Yes and no, because that performance, I'm not sure how many new fans you would get out of that performance. I think Sleep Token fans really liked it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if a basic metal fan that's watching them for the first time would now go and put on loads of Sleep Token. I don't know. But I would say for the most part, probably not.
No.
So yeah, as a headline set, it was decent, but I don't know how much it actually worked and how many people that actually drew in itself.
Yeah. And I have, just one more thing I want to say on it. So Sleep Token, yes, they're good. Yes, a lot of people like them, but I think they've been mollycoddled to the top. I've listened to an interview with Cameron Hack, and he has said he's been with them every step of the way. He was with them the first ever gig they did. He's like, whether he's a manager or agent or something, and I think his influence has helped them get to where they are. You know, obviously people like them for the music, people like them for who they are, but you know, a record label can choose who they promote, and I think he has helped them get where they are, and I think he has helped them to get the headline status maybe a little bit too early, and I don't think that's going away anytime soon. So whether they should headline or not again, I think they will because of the people around him, and that's something I want to talk about a bit later as well, which hopefully I'll remember.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Yes, yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's happened to a lot of bands in the past, and it will happen again. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think they're an incredible band, but they weren't incredible here, unfortunately.
Saturday night, we all got back. We went out again, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh no, we did.
We went out
we
Saturday
did.
night.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. We were in the doghouse again.
Yeah.
And it was shit again.
Yeah. I actually wasn't going to come out Saturday night. I was in the tent with Kelly, and we heard you guys get back. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to have a beer with them. I'm going to sit outside and have a beer with them. And sat outside chatting to you guys. I had ciders. I had 3 ciders. I was on my 4th, and you guys were going up to the doghouse. And I was like, I haven't been to the toilet yet. If I try and go to sleep now, I'm going to be getting up desperate for the toilet 3 times in the next hour. So I might as well come in into town with you.
I like that logic. I really need to pee and it won't be good to sleep. Cool, I'm just going to go out instead.
Yeah.
There'll be toilets there. I can pee while I'm there.
Yeah.
I like that logic.
Yeah.
Do you know what, actually, let's just talk about the doghouse briefly. You've probably got something to talk about.
Mhm.
It's just getting worse and worse.
It is.
I'm so sorry. Like, I know don't get me wrong, right? We love the people at Download that organise all of this stuff, and they really have done a fantastic job overall. But I do feel like the sound and the sets in the doghouse just gets worse and worse every year.
Agreed.
When I walk in now, I'm just like, this is just no. I'm just gonna. I'll have no. I go in, I dance for a couple of tracks, and then I'm bored. I'm just like, right, let's just go out and do some other stuff. I mean, the sound in there is so bad. It's the worst sound I've heard in a tent. It's terrible. It really is bad. So I don't know how they're going to do what they're going to do to fix that. I don't know. I don't know. I would tell you how to fix it, but you'll have to pay me to do that.
Well,
everyone knows I work in facilities, and I have been a sound engineer before as well. So don't worry, I'm not just chatting breeze. I think I have some insight into these things. But yeah, it's just, and every evening there just seem to be less and less people in there. On Saturday night, I was like, I mean, it's barely half filled. There was no one in there at all. When we were walking through the crowd, I was just like, there's no one here.
Yeah.
It was really odd and weird. Very strange.
Yeah. I've not enjoyed it ever since they started putting all the DJs on and it's weird music, and I just want to go up and rock out to some like Rammstein and stuff that I don't hear very often. You're surrounded by metalheads. You want to hear Pantera come on.
Yeah.
And it's just weird
Yeah,
remixes and EDM, is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called.
I don't mind any of that stuff. I don't mind when they're doing themed bits, because I like all sorts of stuff. You know what I mean? If they would say we'll put on some D&B, I'd be right in there, mate, like dancing. But yeah, I just think the sound for me just puts me off entirely. As soon as I walk in, I'm like, oh god, no, I can't enjoy myself to this. It sounds too bad.
Yeah.
My ears are just going, no. If it sounded good, I'd be dancing. But yeah, anyway, we went in there for a bit, didn't we? And we rocked out, and then we left to go and watch Danny Filth's literally the last song of Danny Filth's
because
set.
We went up for it. We went up for Danny Filth's set, and we were in there, and you were like, oh, he's not on yet, or something along those lines. And we were there for a good 20 minutes. I went out, looked at my phone. I was like, guys, we're at the wrong stage. He's over on that one, and he's got about 15 minutes to go.
See, this is the problem now. See, look, there's even too many stages in District X. We're not even going to the right ones anymore. But we did get there for the last couple of tracks, and the sound in there was, I suppose, a little bit better. Couldn't understand anything he was saying on the mic because it was so low. But it was enjoyable. We did sort of sing along, played Iron Maiden and a couple of other bits.
Yeah, Iron Maiden was good, but you did
say we were liking it.
You did say beforehand he's going to play a lot of 80s stuff, which
we didn't hear any of that though. Yeah,
I thought there was one or two. I can't remember.
Yeah, there was 80s stuff in there. There was 80s stuff in there. And we were like, cool, that was good. And then I think we were drinking a bit of Download juice at that point. I think we were having some of that green juice in there. And then we walked out and we thought, right, we've had enough. Let's walk back home. And then Adam, your brother of mine, stayed in the big tent. And then he called me and said, dude, they've shut the doghouse. I was like, what? He said, yeah, dude, the doghouse is, because we saw all these people walking past us and we didn't know why.
Yeah.
We were sort of down by the Ace of Spades bar around that little bit of District X just before you get to Black Camp. And he called me and said, yeah, dude, they've shut it down. I was like, what's happening? He's like, some bloke has climbed one of the big metal girders in there, and he's like protesting. I think it was to do with like obviously a pro-Palestine thing or something. So yeah, and my brother really likes Mode Step, who were doing the DJ set. I think I saw some people talking about this on the Discord, and he was like, yeah, dude, they shut it down. Everyone's gone out. Yeah. They're calling the emergency services to get this guy down. And I was like, wow, that's wild. And he's like, damn, you could have got footage of it if only you stayed in there like 10 minutes longer. We were like, we wanted to go.
Like 2, I'm sure he said, Because as we were
Yeah.
walking from tent to tent, before we even got halfway, we saw loads of stewards like rushing,
Running.
not
They were
quite
running.
Yeah.
Stewards were running past us.
Yeah,
Security were running past me on the left-hand side. They were bolting.
yeah.
So
And we weren't even halfway down through the village or through District X at that point. So, yeah, it
No.
was very, very soon after we left.
yes.
So yeah,
very, very
he could have
soon.
got it.
So.
He could have got it for you.
We just missed it.
He
I know. Yeah.
failed
should've.
on that part, didn't he? Twice.
Yeah. He was really, really drunk though, so I wasn't expecting him to do much at all.
Okay.
But that was it. He caught up with us. Then we went to. That was it.
That was
I
it.
didn't even think we got any food. I think we just went straight
Yeah.
back to the tents. I think we chatted for a little bit under the gazebo. And then we said good night, sir. And then we went to bed. That was our Saturday night. But that still was must have been about 1 o'clock, 1:30,
Yeah, about
around
that.
there somewhere. Yeah, it was
Well,
about that.
didn't Danny Phil's set start at 1? I think it started at
Did
1
it? Hold on.
until 2.
How do I get the details up of this? Well, I just looked at the picture and it said that we were at Danny Filth's show at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I think he was on at like 12:30 or something.
Okay.
So yeah, so we were there at 1 in the morning. So we must have got back about 1:32 ish maybe
Yeah.
after all of that commotion happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Saturday. 1 day left, and then everything else. So Sunday. I don't think we. Oh, so we. So we had to pack up and leave Sunday night. I thought the band that Kelly wanted to watch was on at 1:30. So I was packing up slowly. I was just sat down for a bit. I was like, I can't do any more. And she was like, oh yeah, they're playing at 12:30, don't you? I was like, crap, let's get up then. Right, let's get a move on. So luckily, I think I probably said in the last episode, luckily she was able to park in West Car Park, and it was only like a 15-minute walk to the car instead of an hour like it was last year.
Damn.
And then from there we
Yeah.
went straight into the arena, which was, and then this was the last time we saw any of you. It was always seems weird saying bye to people on Sunday mornings. But yeah, I remember saying at the time the chances of seeing you in the arena are probably very slim. So
Yeah.
I gave everybody a hug, goodbye at that point, and that was it. So who did she actually want to go and see? Why did she make me work so early? Kelly wanted to go and see Nothing More. And
Yes.
yeah, I've spoken about them a few times on here. Not a band that I've listened to loads, but listened to them a bit in the car with Kelly, and they are very, very good. They're really good. I really enjoyed them. They're very good live as well. But again, I was pretty broken by this point, so I was just sat down, couldn't see much of the stage because people were still in front of me. But yeah, they were good. I know a lot of people enjoyed them. Who did you go and see on Sunday? In fact, this is the first time we would have spoken about this.
Yeah, on Sunday. Sunday. I only saw 2 bands on Sunday.
Oh, you bastard. You sat in the camp instead of going into the arena.
No, we were in the arena.
Okay.
We were just sitting down in the arena.
Okay.
We didn't really...
No, that's fine. I just thought you were...
We got in... Actually, no. We got in for President.
Right. Yeah, you were in that tent.
But obviously did not get anywhere near the tent. Excuse me. And then we just sat around, went and got some food, sat down, was falling asleep during Spirit Box. Jesus. Christ. That was about, like, literally, that's what we done. We got in because we wanted to see President. Got nowhere near the tent because we got in quite late. Late for them anyway. Then we just sat around the rest of the time. We walked around. I think we went to some shops. Had a few more beers, and that was it. Yeah. Then I did not watch a band till Bullet.
Okay, fair enough. So we actually stayed at the second stage for the Ghost Inside after that. They were really good. Not a band that I've listened to loads on record. But I do enjoy them. Was it Engine 45? It's such a good song. Obviously knew they would play it last, and came back for Alien Ant Farm. Didn't see a single thing on stage again because we were sat down knackered the whole time. But the whole of their set, there was just like it was pretty empty. The little walkway behind the sound tower. When we got there, pretty empty. The whole time they were on, swarms and swarms of people going across towards President's tent, towards the Dogtooth, because that's where President were.
I bet.
The whole set.
Yeah.
So that's a good 40 minutes straight, people walking that way. I actually didn't see how busy that tent was until after, but it was busy.
Very busy, yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't see the President either. I wasn't gripped by the hype, if I'm honest. We didn't talk much about them, but we obviously know it was Charlie Simpson. Were you a Fight Star fan?
Oh, massive.
Yeah, just not.
Yeah, bloody love Fight Star.
Okay, just not interested in President.
Well, no, I was. I just couldn't get in there in time.
Okay, yeah, as you did just say that as a good point, but when we brought them up before, you haven't seemed interested.
Oh yeah, I love that first track. The second track, not
Okay.
so much. But I was just intrigued to see what they would be like live, and apparently they were really good.
Yeah.
He's always really good live, his vocals and stuff. So I would have liked to have been in there to see it, to witness their like first gig. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what they release next. Second single's okay, but I really loved that first track. I think it's brilliant.
I never actually listened to the second single. I think I listened to the first one once. But again, their first ever show. I mean, he's famous anyway, but he's very good friends with the organisers, so he can do that kind of thing. You know, just look at all of the build up to it and the hype around it.
It's not what you know, bro.
It's
not what you know.
That is exactly what I was going to talk about later.
Yeah,
and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So after Alien Ant Farm, maybe we just walked around for a little bit as well. I think the next band we actually saw after Alien Ant Farm was Bullet for My Valentine. Yeah, and Kelly said she might have wanted to watch Airborne a little bit, but she's seen them. She wasn't that interested. So yeah, I think we just went and sat over by the main stage and waited for Bullet as well. Were we there for Spirit Box though? Yeah, we got some of them. Anyway, so what do you think of Bullet?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been telling people for years how much they've grown as a live band. How, you know, for someone that probably, like, someone like my brother, for instance, who hadn't seen them in 10 years plus, he was like, holy hell, they are a beast of a live band. And, you know, they were only playing stuff from the Poison. I know at the end they played a couple of tracks, but, you know, to play the new stuff as well, which is much beefier than the old stuff is. Like, they played Knives second last, and that's a killer track.
Yeah,
but yeah, amazing. Just a great band. They really have just got that now. You know, back in the day, maybe Matt's vocals live weren't the best, but they've worked on that a lot, and he sounds great. All the rest of the guys in the band sound great. Their fucking guitar solos are nailed. Their drummer's insane. You know, they've got the pyro, the performances there. They've got the tracks. You know, they were just playing the fucking Poison. They weren't even playing. They didn't even play Scream Aim Fire or any of the other huge, massive metal tracks that they've got. So it just proves to you how, you know, I think a hugely underrated band generally in metal for how many sort of big hits and stuff they've had.
Yeah, I think they are as well. I agree with you on that.
So it's nice to see them do it. And yeah, I mean, they just played a killer set. You know, that album is one of the greatest British metal albums of all time. There's no doubting that. It's fucking unbelievable album. So to hear that all the way through was great. Loved all the songs. Sung like I shouldn't. Sung every single word. Me and my brother going crazy when Hand of Blood and like all those classic tunes would come on. And his comments as well to say, look, one day we will fucking come back and headline this festival. And I was like, I said in my thing afterwards when I was talking about it, I was like, do you know what? If they have one more big album, or if they have a couple of really well-received albums, I don't see it as implausible that Bullet could come back. I mean, like, the whole place was fucking packed for Bullet. And I know that has a lot to do with Korn as well, because a lot of people that like Korn probably like Bullet or vice versa. But it was they had more people for Bullet than they did for Sleep Token, which just shows you how much of a big pull this band and Korn, of course, are. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I fucking loved every second of it. It was amazing. And then I had Vicky next to me the whole time, just licking her lips and touching her private parts to Matt, obviously, because she's like, he's fucking gorgeous. So, yeah, I mean, overall, everyone around me was having a great time. It was just great. It was great fun, was had by all. And, you know, I've been a Bullet fan since the demo days, the EP days. So, yeah, I love seeing these guys up on a big stage. Just a couple of, you know, few fucking random Welsh blokes. Do you know what I mean? Having a metal show on a giant fucking stage, which is great. It kind of reminds me of like Iron Maiden when like Bullet for Valentine are just Welsh blokes who just like drink in random pubs that don't really talk to anyone, and it always reminds me of Maiden because Maiden just seem like this typical sort of South London pub blokes that just happen to be in one of the biggest metal bands of all time. So I always sort of get those two sort of flavors with those bands. They don't seem like rock stars, but when they get up on stage, they're like, yeah, you know what I mean? We've got the fucking riffs and all sorts of shit. So, but yeah, loved it. I'll talk about it for ages, so Stop me.
Yeah, okay. I enjoyed it the best I could. Similar with these, though, I was sat down for most of it, so I couldn't really see the stage because I knew I wanted to be stood up for Korn because I wanted to be able to see what was going on. I when he said about coming back, I thought the opposite to you. You obviously know way more about them than me, though. So I think my problem is, and when I say that, not my problem with them, my problem is that I don't talk to many people about music other than you generally anymore. Growing up, you got all your friends are into the same things. They like an album, they tell you what it is, and all that sorts of stuff. And I haven't heard anybody talking about Bullet for Valentine or really anything else for many years now. So I didn't know how big they still were even. So when he said that, I was like, oh, really? I doubt it. But like you said, like I said, way more than me. They could have a couple more big albums and make it up there, and I'd be happy for them if they did. But yeah, so that's my problem with me, not my problem with them.
Yes, I get what you mean.
Talk more about, it's just circles of people that you have, isn't it? There's only so much you can get from groups online. You have the loud minority who are shouting things and like, I don't really care what you say because that you don't represent everybody. I suppose everyone I know, a lot of my friends, 99% of them are Bullet fans. So when a new album comes out, we are all talking about it and sharing the tracks and saying, oh, that song's sick, or oh, this album's not so good, or so I've kind of always been in and around their albums ever since they've first been coming out. So it's probably different for me. I probably get a different look. And I go and watch them at their own shows and stuff, and you don't. So again, you don't see that bit about them, I guess. I guess so. But like I said, I enjoyed it as much as I physically could because I was still knackered at this point. I was gone. But yeah,
that got me pumped. Like that got me more energy for Korn. Like after Bullet, we did go and sit down, but I was like, that was so good. I'm so ready for Korn now. Like we were all like, we're all tired. We all know we're tired, but that got us so like adrenaline that we were like, right, give me Korn now. Like put Korn on the stage right now. I don't want to wait. I want Korn to come on right now. So
awesome.
But yeah, that's what it done to my lot anyway.
And Korn played Sunday night. So after that we went home. And,
Anyway, Korn played.
I fucking loved Korn. I fucking loved Korn. Fucking loved Korn.
Yes. Finally.
That's the loudest I've ever heard them, I think. And it being dark made a huge difference to me. I don't know why. Don't know what difference that made, but it just felt more like the Epics. Maybe it's like I had in my head they should have been bigger the whole time, and seeing them during the day, it was like kind of anticlimactic or something. But yeah, seeing them in the dark, loud as hell. I don't think that was just me imagining it. I think I've seen other people saying that it was very, very loud for them.
They
incredible.
were like, bro, let's turn this up. Do you know when I knew it was going to be a good gig? Straight away. Now, Korn are like well known for their disgusting guitar tones and their sounds, right? But as soon as Blind started, and Monkey does the na-na-na-na, but then when Head's guitar went I was like, me and Adam looked at each other and said, that fucking guitar tone is unreal. And if you listen back to any recording, it's like, you're like, okay, right, it's going to fucking go. It's going to go. Because I was just like, okay, right, let's fucking go now. And I think, what were you going to say before I start fanboying?
There was nothing much else other than how much I enjoyed all of it. Even the bits in the middle. Surprised they didn't do, because they normally do like some kind of medley, don't they? And they have they played the bit with one, didn't they?
They played a little bit of one. Yeah, they normally do a bigger medley than that, where they play a little bit of Master of Puppets. And then they do some other stuff as well. They not play a little bit of like Word Up. They used to put Did My Time in there, but now they actually play Did My Time as a whole track, which I'm really happy about, because when they do that little tease of Did My Time, and I didn't look at any set lists for Korn, although it's always going to be a best of. I got told they were playing Did My Time, and then I had to tell my brother, because we were like, that was one of our favorite Korn songs growing up, and they haven't played it in full for fucking years. Yeah. They might have played it like once or twice, but not, over tours. So when we saw they were playing Did My Time, we were like, oh, in full, fucking great. Because I feel like it's one of those unappreciated Korn tracks that more people should hear.
Yeah,
so
it's one of my
was
favorite.
A highlight. Yeah.
That was. They played so many good songs. There's probably also so many other songs, so many other great songs of theirs that they didn't play. Did they play Twisted Transistor? I'm sure they probably did, yeah. But I think I was waiting for Coming Undone as well, because obviously that was on the same album.
That's normally in their set. That's normally in there. That's what I mean. Like, they've got so many bangers, they don't even have to play all the bangers anymore, because they've got so many songs to choose from. And because they're so consistently good, even up to the new albums, that they could literally pick like 4 albums and go, right, we're just going to ignore all the other shit and just play these 4 albums, and there would still be enough bangers on there for a headline show. They
are going to have to start doing what Iron Maiden are doing and going, we'll pick an era and we'll tour that era. But I was going to say, like, I've said on the show before, I really did not like Coming Undone when it first came out. I didn't like their version of Another Brick in the Wall, but I was waiting for it, knowing that I would enjoy it at that point. And I've said that album and that sort of style is part of their history now, is part of their legacy, and it doesn't feel weird anymore. At the time, it felt weird.
Taboo at the time, but now it's like, well, it's just Korn, whatever. I get that totally.
But I mean, so many of their good songs, so many good songs. They played Somebody's Someone as well, didn't they?
They did.
That's one of my favourites.
Really love that track. Yeah, they we talked about how much we love Issues before. But yeah, I just from the start I thought, okay, I thought, what are they going to start with? They could start with a load of stuff. But I thought, okay, if you're just going to start with Blind, you're just not even fucking around anymore. You're just like, cool, okay. And as soon as that curtain dropped with the Are You Ready? Certainly around me, and obviously I was pretty close, that crowd did not stay still for the whole fucking gig, man. It was really unreal. I seriously got, those old school Download vibes where the whole crowd was it's just movement constantly. I think, like, and again, a lot like what did I say? Who did I say that about? A lot like Hatebreed. I looked around and just saw all these sort of young kids just fucking having the best time ever. So I think especially for the sort of new era of Korn fans, they were blown away by that performance. And they would have done the opposite to what Sleep Token done, is they would have earned themselves new fans from that show.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they have absolutely earned the next headline slot. Whenever it comes.
I think everyone across the board now, Download wise, can say there is absolutely no doubt or issues with Korn coming back to headline this festival, because with a performance like that, they could do half that performance and it would still be a great headline slot. But to come, and you could see Jonathan Davis, he said, we've been playing this festival since it was fucking called Donington. Like, we've been playing this festival since 1996. Like, we were only a band for 2 years at that point. And he said, finally, we're fucking headlining Download. So it's probably a really good sort of output of frustration from them as well. I feel like they were sort of like a snake shedding skin. Finally we've reached this moment. I can sort of shed off this we're not quite big enough to headline Download moment. And it definitely felt like they were unburdening themselves on the crowd in a good way, not like weren't coming on everyone, but metaphorically they were coming on everyone.
If it was Rammstein, they would have been
literally.
Yeah. And I think another thing a lot of people were saying, which I hadn't thought of it until I heard people say it, but I agreed with, they've played too much. They've played too often to be able to earn that status. If you've seen them 2 years ago, you saw them 2 years before that, you saw them 2 years before that, there's nothing special about them headlining. But I think they've kind of proved that wrong. Maybe it would have been a bit more special if it had been a rarer thing to see them over here. Say you've only seen them twice in the last 15 years.
Well,
and
I've seen them
worthy.
Twice in 2 years. They headlined Gunnersbury last year. So if they hadn't have done that Gunnersbury show last year, this would have felt more special. But I still felt like the Gunnersbury show was fantastic. But I do feel like this still felt special, even though I'd seen them again so recently. I still feel like it had that.
I think they kind of disproved that a little bit, what people were saying, that they play too often. But I definitely thought it when I heard people saying it. I thought, that's a good point. But who knows, if they hadn't have pushed it and played every opportunity they got, maybe they wouldn't have got to this point, to this point in the first place. So
well, now maybe because they are a headliner now, maybe you will naturally see less of them at Download.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or, I mean, they're such humble fuckers. They would come back and say, we'll come back even if we're not headlining, because that just seems like the kind of people that they are. They're just like, look, we just want to fucking play music. Like, I won't give a fuck what we play. We just want to come play, rock out to the kids. Like, that's the sort of band that they are, which you've got to respect. But I feel like now they should... if you're listening to this, guys, now you have reached that level. I don't think you should come down from it. I think that the guys should say, look, okay, we're a headliner now. We'll come back in 3 years and headline again, or 4 years and headline again. And then it will be special. They do all their own tours and shit.
Yeah.
Wherever. But I do think that would make the next show at Download really, really special. But probably Download 2027, you'll see them as main support for fucking, I don't know, whoever's playing that year. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But this was special for me. This was I've just blown away. I mean, like we said, there aren't many bands that have been so consistently good on record, so consistently good live, and to this day, I mean, they're not that old. They're only like 10, 15 years older than we are. They're not like super old or anything, but they just don't, they're not phoning it in ever. They're just like, tonight's the night we're going to put on the best show we possibly can. They never phone it in. I've never had Jonathan Davis once not actually try at a gig, like his low growls are just absolutely unbelievable. And he never used to do those. It's something that over the years he's developed more and more. And now you're just like, oh my, like, you trouble a really, really hardcore deathcore band to do low growls as good as Jonathan Davis does them these days. So yeah. Anyway, I won't babble on too much, but Stella, just
I think we've
unbelievable.
Yeah,
brilliant,
absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing I just thought of, I don't think I saw many people talk about the fact they went to see Lorna Shore, who obviously played in 2023, and it was all everyone was talking about at the time. So that's the kind of thing, they just lose that little bit of hype the more often they play. So it'd be interesting. So obviously that was the last band. We made our way back to the car and left. Did you do anything interesting Sunday night?
We hung around at the stage trying to look for goodies. Nice. I went right up to the barrier. I was trying to look for anything Korn related that I could find. Someone threw a set list out and loads of people grabbed it. I think it got like ripped in half. So I nearly grabbed it. I nearly got it, but it wasn't wasn't meant to be. And then we just hung around in the arena. We were walking around like, I don't want to leave. That's one of the first times I've had that. Like, we were like, I don't want to leave this arena right now. I don't want this to end. So we just walked up. I think we sat on the hill for a little bit, up near the big wheel. We were just sitting down, relaxing, taking our time. And then we waited for the crowds to clear, walked back home. We went to Co-op on the way back. I made myself, there was no food left in the Co-op, so we had to get whatever we could. I was starving, but I didn't want to buy anything expensive. So I got a roll. I got some cheese not cheese. I got some like garlic and herb dip, and I got some crisps. And I made me and Vicky a garlic and herb and crisp roll for our dinner.
Lovely.
It was really good. It was chili heatwave ones. It tasted great. But Vicky's so middle class. She'd never had a crisp sandwich before. So I had to initiate her in the ways of the crisp sandwich. I did say to her, "You're so fucking middle class, aren't you? You've never had a crisp sandwich." Couldn't believe it. She's never had a chip butty. She's never had anything like that.
Really?
These posh people don't deal with any of that stuff.
Always kept stuff in the pantry, so they never had to sort of dig and find whatever they could to put in a piece of bread.
I don't think there was many beige dinners in Vicky's house growing up, but
No.
as a poor person, it was beige dinner almost every single night. So I saw all the Northerners are going, "What, you never had a chip butty?" So it's a very northern thing to do, but and that was it. And then we said adieu to the arena, walked back, done that, and then went to bed.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, didn't go anywhere other than that Sunday night. Okay, we had an eventful evening. Well, it was mildly eventful, but we got out of the car park immediately. So I think I said last episode that it wasn't anywhere close to being full this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to the car and we saw the signs saying exit, and we were like, we're not going to follow those signs. We're going to go back to the next field that's completely empty and see if we can find an exit onto a road there. And we did. Like, there was a couple other cars that went that way before us. And I was like, this is great. We were out within a few minutes and on the road. So
nice.
There wasn't anything to worry about there. I know I've said before me and Kelly were together, I think it must have been 2012, she sat in the car park for 4 hours trying to get out Sunday night. And then it was another hour to get from there to the motorway junction, which was about a mile. She's a fucking machine. I don't know how she does it. Like, she obviously drove home 3 hours from that point as well. So it would have been like from 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Insane. But so she drove most of the way home as well. Well, all the way home. We stopped once just so she could have some food. I may have had the most expensive piss in my life. We stopped at Gloucester Services. I was desperate for the toilet. They were closed. So I was like, right, I was going to run over this bush and go over here. And as soon as I got back in the car, I thought, I hope they haven't got any cameras that have caught me and caught the number plate. And they're going to write to me now and say, fine you for going to the toilet. I haven't heard anything yet, but these things might take some time. So we didn't even realise the garage bit is still open, even though we didn't know that. And they've probably got a toilet. We probably could have gone there.
They do.
We didn't. Yeah, we didn't know that. I was just desperate for the toilet.
They're sort of they're tucked weirdly in that little bit there as you go out. It's sort of on that right hand side, isn't it? And it's not really. Yeah. It doesn't look like the normal ones with the big bits on top and all that because it's all built into that Cotswold stone. So Gloucester Services is one of the nicest services in the UK, but it's also one of the weirdest.
Yeah, there was no signs saying that it's not 24 hours because if you go down towards Cornwall, all of them that aren't 24 hours will say not 24 hours.
Yeah.
It was a bit annoying. Well, I know it was annoying. I just hope I don't get fined for going to the toilet.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Hopefully.
They'll just go, oh my God, look at the size of it. Let's not fine him. Life's bad enough for the man. We're all right.
But after that, it was pretty plain sailing home. Took about an hour from there. And that was it. I'm not going to talk any more about the next day or what happened. There was a few things I have written down that I wanted to make sure I covered, though, because, I knew there were going to be things that we'd forget as we were going through each day. Food. Anything particular you want to talk food-wise?
I had some nice... There was a lot of really nice Greek food. They seem to have gone crazy for gyros at Download now. I don't know whether that's because... me and Adam have been banging on about how good the gyros were in 2023. But since then, they seem to have an abundance of Greek places. And Greek food's really good. It's really refreshing. Just really good food. So I had loads of Greek stuff. I had a burrito in the arena, which was amazing. That was after Green Day. I don't normally get food in the arena, sort of late at night, sort of wait until we go back. But we were starving after Green Day, so I went to one of the burrito places on the left-hand side of the stage, and that was hefty. Like, it weighed a ton. So that was definitely worth it. That was good. What else did I have? Oh yeah, Hyde and Greek was the place that we got the really good Greek stuff from. So big up Hyde and Greek, and big up that burrito place in the arena. The burger place was pretty. The I Love Burgers place at the bottom of Blue, that was pretty good. I got a chicken burger from there, and that was actually that's the one I spilled ketchup all over myself. But that was really good. Yeah, I only went to Co-op 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
and that was only just to get some few supplies and a couple of other bits and get some bacon and some rolls for the morning.
But it's such a big queue all the time, isn't there? Like, you still want to queue up.
Yeah,
to get in.
It does go down pretty quickly. But yeah. Overall, I was very happy with everything that I bought food-wise. It was really good. The drinks were good. Overall, food and drink-wise, I was very happy with this year. Very happy indeed. Yeah,
me too. So there's a few bits that I got. There was a kind of like a burger place at the top of Blue. Probably, I think it was the first thing I got this year. And it was like a chicken burger for a tenner, and fries for £5. And I always, when I see people buying chips for like a £5 and it's just a crappy little tray, I'm like, why have you done that? You get hardly anything in there. But I was starving, so I got those, and I was like, right, I'm making sure I'm eating all of these chips first, because I know I'm going to eat all of the burger no matter what. And I was nice and full after. Chips was actually really good, crispy on the outside. So it did actually feel good value for money once I'd eaten it. But it never looks it. But yeah, it was pretty good. No, I went. I got a tikka naan wrap, I think, from like the Metalworks place. That was good, but I was waiting for a long time for that. I think it only just opened on a Friday, or not been open very long. And I felt like the ones in that bit, they all had, like, it was all set up for them. It wasn't their own trucks. And I think a lot of people were waiting in those places. So whether they just weren't used to where everything was set up for them, because it's not their own like trailer or anything like that, and it just took a bit longer. But yeah, spent ages waiting for that. Like I said, the food, the meat, the barbecue, the porky barbecue thing just over in the corner in that bit as well. That was really good. Got a little brisket and chips and coleslaw. That was so good.
Nice.
Another amazing one that I got was it was really hot. I think it was a Saturday afternoon, and I realized I hadn't had a coffee that day. Normally, that's the first thing I do, go and get a coffee. So I wanted to go down and get a mocha from there. There was a coffee place just to the right of the second stage. And as I was waiting, I was going to get a mocha, and I saw these two people walk away with these ice coffees. And I said to the girl, I was going to get a mocha, but they look amazing. I might get one of those. And she was like, I can do an iced mocha. And so, yeah, I got an iced mocha. And they also did these New York style cheesecakes, but they were £9. And I was so tempted. And I knew they were going to be worth it. They were quite small, and they're like a little round tub, but they looked like they were going to be worth it. And I was thinking about going back, but I never did at any point. So if anybody got one of those, tell me how amazing it was.
Nice.
Was there anything else? There was a Persian street food place in the village. And did I say this last episode? I don't think I did. I was going to get a Yorkie wrap. Needed a toilet, so I went up to the toilet and came back and saw this Persian street food place, and I was like, oh, that looks quite good actually. And as I was in the queue, I saw Jenny and Danica in the queue, but I didn't want to bother them. Part of me really wanted to just go up and say congratulations on Venga Boys or something along those lines, but they were getting food. They probably don't have very much time to themselves, so I was like, yeah, I'm not going to say anything. And then it started raining not long after that as well. But yeah, that was really good food. I'm sure there was a couple more, but they have gone now. Obviously, Bunnyman's Bunny Chow is always great. That was really good. Have you
never had it?
Still never had one.
No.
So it's
I'll get one year.
yeah, really, really good. So I think I might have said on here before. I was actually in college with a guy who works there. I think he's like, you got the two owners, and he's basically the next one down. And I was talking to him about it for a while, ages ago now. But yeah, food wise, that's most of it. That's all I can think of. Moving down the list, the amount of shirts we saw. I touched on it briefly earlier. Like that Wednesday and Thursday, we saw absolutely loads of people wearing our shirts, which was so nice, wasn't it?
It was great. Yeah, it was just amazing to walk around and be like, "There's Didano shirt." People pointing them out to me. I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't even know who that is."
Yeah,
I've never seen that person before in my life. They're wearing a Didano shirt. Yeah, it was great. Like, we can't really say anymore. We said loads in the last episode about the community we've built and how thankful we are for everyone supporting us and buying all the shirts. But yeah, it's awesome. Whenever you see someone in a Didano shirt, you're like, yes, that's cool. That's our shirt.
Really
man.
appreciate it. Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah.
We
are just a podcast, but like you said, we're a podcast. We're sort of meandering around as some sort of band. Also, we really want to be a band, but we're not.
Yeah, just gonna say as well, like the most common shirt that I saw personally, it was probably the same for you, was the Broken Day shirt.
Yes,
which was cool as well. So yeah, thank you to everyone for supporting him, and it's supporting us as well. But yeah, for buying that shirt, that was really cool.
Oh yeah,
I think he was
definitely.
I think he listened to this, Callum. I think he was very happy with how many of you bought them as well. So yeah, that's cool.
I'm sure, fingers crossed, we will do some other stuff together, possibly before next time as well. If we could get something else going and get a different design, you never know, man.
Yeah.
So the only way is up. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, cool. Talked about the car park leaving. Have you heard much about people streaming at Download or streaming the sets on TikTok at Download? I don't know if you've come across any of that. So I think it was Sleep Token. I went online after. People were saying the sound wasn't very good, but there was people saying, well, the stream I found of it on TikTok, sound was perfect. And I think there were some people who streamed like whole sets online.
Oh, yeah. I guess people have probably been doing that for a while with loads of live stuff. But yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it's, listen, if Download aren't going to do it, the fans might as well.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm going to say. We won't get onto the coverage thing now. We'll talk about that in some later episodes. But listen, if Download aren't going to get it out there, I'm not saying it's anyone's fault, then the fans will do that for them. Simple as that.
Yeah. I more than anything, I was surprised that they could physically do that because signal's usually awful. But at the same time, there's also no surprise that people are streaming the whole thing, live streaming it. And I hope if people watched it at home, I hope you enjoyed it. Managed to find a good stream. I think now that TikTok's around, gone are the days where you have to go to a dodgy website that have got links popping up all over the place, and you're trying to press the little crosses.
Just find the right person's TikTok. You're done.
Yeah,
you're done.
Okay, couple more bits before I want to get into like shout outs for some of the people that we saw. I mean, I know we said we saw a lot of people. Now you said about the District X the doghouse definitely is going downhill, and there was something in Stu's vlog, which I hadn't really thought about, but he pointed it out, and he was saying the grassy bit where the Ace of Spades bar is and where we had the meetup, that is just looking absolutely amazing now. It was only a few years ago. That was part of Black Camp, and it was just a few little stalls going up into the village on that bit. But now they've made a whole thing out of it. You've got the Ace of Spades bar, which is there. I can't remember what the other bar was called. Something Axe, the Thirsty Axe. Let's just call it a Thirsty Axe. Thirsty Axe. Yeah. They had food. They had the hot dog eating competition there. They did cinema there.
Yeah, cinema. It's a lovely looking. The whole of that bit just looks unreal.
Yeah,
looks really, really good.
Yeah, and I completely agreed when I heard Stu say it on the vlog, and it made me think. That can be our village. That can be where all the stupid shit that goes on, like that we were talking about. The proper district X at the top on the concrete is where all the scheduled stuff that people go for. how about we try and take over the grassy bit and have stupid shit and have football and people doing like free hugs and human nets.
Okay, yeah. I like this idea.
I think we should write to them and say, look, I know you got a lot on your plate. Give me and Simon this bit.
Give me and Simon this bit of download.
To help you, of course. To help you. And
give
or just unofficially take over it and say, look, people, if you want to do stupid shit, if you want to create your own memories, join us here. This is where you do it. This is the village. That's District X. This is the village. This is the original village.
Oh my god, we're separating bits now. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said before, VIP area inside a VIP area.
Absolutely.
This is good.
Okay. So I'm deleting stuff from my list now. Just done this bit. Something crazy. Take over the grass part. Have it called something else separate to District X. Yep. God, done that one. Done that. Simon Bond. He's the. I don't actually know the words.
Oh God. So the whole time,
all weekend. Your brother and probably Stu
and
Tom.
Yeah, everyone.
Was it any time anybody stopped you to talk to you, or was it just all the time?
What do you mean? What, because of that song?
Yeah, they sang. Did they sing it all weekend, or just when people stopped you? Because I picked up on it. They were only singing it when people were stopping you to chat and get pictures and stuff.
Oh no, they were just singing the whole. Like, there's so many. There's a great bit in the vlog where we're all pretty drunk and no one's even singing the words anymore. Adam's just going, Simon Bone, he's a motherfucking dude. It's like we were all cracking up. Like, it's not even the words. It's not even the right words anymore. It's not even the right tune anymore. Everyone just likes going, he's a motherfucking dude. Oh yeah. And I was like, it was just like, it was a recurring theme the whole weekend. And at first it was really annoying, but then it definitely became more hilarious the longer it went on. So
I
thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good fun.
It was good, very good fun. I didn't, like I said, I was catching it to start with. I was like, what's going on? Why are they singing that? But then after, I was like, every time it was happening, yes, I'm glad you're singing that. That was pretty much all of it, apart from a few sort of shout outs for some like people or groups after. Do you have any 2026 predictions? Do you want to go over that? I know I've said my predictions a few times, and they're probably going to be massively wrong.
I'll do that, but let me just cap off this year quickly. Let me just give you my general sort of overview of the festival. So general overview of this year, really good. Actually, not that I thought it was going to be bad. Like I said, this is probably the most excited I've been for a download in a long time, and it definitely lived up to my expectations, both band wise and having fun wise. Like, I had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, great weather. This probably sits as my third. I think I said to you last time what my order of downloads is. Yeah. But this is definitely, modern downloads from 2022 onwards. This is very, very good download. I had a lot of fun. I know that lineup wise, not a lot of people were excited about this. Well, not a lot of original downloaders were excited about this anyway, because it's 3 new headliners. It was very new band orientated, not many legacy bands, etc. But I do think that it was a really great festival overall. I think everyone enjoyed themselves. Bands were great. Some of them exceeded expectations, others didn't, but that's just what happens. But yeah, overall, very, very happy. I can't wait till next year. And I wasn't really saying that last year. I was just like, 2025, that'll be good. But this year has sort of made me hungry for more download.
Okay, I can see that.
Which 2024 didn't do for me.
No. I think we were saying about how quick it went last year, and we were like, I can't believe how quick it went. Whereas this year, it's like, it's ended. Bring on next year.
But I feel like this one's going to go so slow because I want it more.
Yeah.
So I feel like 2024 disappeared because I was like, download 25. But I feel like now I'm like, I really want to get to 2026. I feel like it's just going to take it feels like a million years away. But we said that last year, and then this year's come around pretty quick. But predictions for next year.
Should I do my sort of
you do your
overview
first. Yeah.
I have pretty much the same feelings as you. I really enjoyed this year. There weren't that many bands that I saw. There weren't many bands that were for me. There were some bands that I missed, which is always going to happen. But the headliner's great. Green Day, Korn, absolutely amazing. It doesn't matter if Sleep Token were lacking a little bit. You know, you're going to have years where, you know, not every headliner is for you. So I still think all three headliners as a whole were absolutely incredible anyway. What I was going to say earlier, though, I think, it's becoming more and more apparent to me, and I could be wrong on this, and I'm sure the music industry has probably been, for a long time, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But the more we learn about the music industry, the more we're seeing these bands get pushed to the top because of who's promoting them. The more I feel like it's becoming more and more apparent that that's how it is at the moment. You don't see, well, yeah, I think it's basically that. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and there's certain bands are getting up there because of their connections, which makes me sad a little bit, but that might be what the music industry has been like the whole time I've been into music. So
it's been like that a lot. It's always whatever the labels want or whatever the management want. It's been like that there are some bands that do it completely out of the blue, completely on their own. They just come from nowhere and blast into the scene. But, you know, I think that when you get past a certain point, you're always kind of going to be pushed to say, can you do this? Can you get this big to headline? Because we want you to. So it's something that's always been there. I think that the difference now is, dude, is you've seen behind the curtain now.
Yeah.
You've spoken to the people that organize these things. You've spoken to people that organize festivals. You've chatted to artists. You've chatted to people that vlog and are behind the scenes. So I think that you would have said the same thing 20 years ago, but you didn't see that far then. Now you've had a look. You know, it's like looking at a magician where you look at the trick and you go, fucking hell, that's amazing. But now you know how the trick works, so it's not as amazing to you. And you kind of go, well, now I know how he does that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you use that as like an analogy to explain it. So
20 years
I think
ago,
it's
it would be
happened a lot.
guesswork. Now it's educated guesswork.
Yeah, now you're literally like, well, because I know that this is happening because this is connected to this person's connected to that, it's connected to them, and they're playing there. And then you're like, wait, okay.
Yeah.
Now I know how that's happened. So I just think you've got an eager eye on things that you never had before, or that you never cared about before.
Yeah. But it just makes me sad a little bit. I think that people just can't. It's harder for bands to work their way up from nothing. Harder than I thought it was, which is annoying. But anyway, if we get in with them, Ashes by Dawn will be headlining in 10 years. 20 years.
20. Give me 20.
Because
Give me 20
we know the right
least.
people now.
Yes.
We're getting in with them.
That's true.
Bitching about it, but I'll take some of that cake, please.
Give it to me, baby.
No, it's I keep saying I want to learn more about the music industry, and I do. So yeah, I'm all for learning more as much as I can, even if it does make me sad that the same people get the same cake over and over again. I didn't even know it's a proper analogy. I just make it up as I go along.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah, overall though, it was a really good weekend. Either way, you know, the people that would count with us, your brother Tom. Never met Tom before. I didn't know you only met Tom last year at Download. Yeah. So like when he turns, I thought he was a really good friend of yours for years. So you met him last year.
Yeah. Well, that's what it seems like. Sometimes you meet people and they just fit in with you perfectly. They're like you've been friends for years.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of thing that we've got with Tom. It was like he's always been there. So he's a new addition, but not a new addition, if you get what I mean. And same for Vicky as well, you know, like it just seemed like she's always been a part of our crew. Which is why, you know, we went with we had a smaller crew than normal. And it was great to obviously be with, camp right near Alexander Toon, and everyone in that little area. It was great to, you know, hang out with all them more than I normally get to, because I love all those people.
Yeah.
And it was nice. But this is what happens with your download groups. They sort of, when you're going the whole time, they fluctuate. They go up, they go down, they go back down, then they go right up, then they go down again.
Yeah.
So next year may be a massive group of people. It might be an even smaller group of people. So you just never know. But yeah, bless up the people this year. Bless up the man.
Yeah,
bless up the man.
Definitely. And so that's pretty much all all I wanted to talk about, I did want to give some shout outs to some specific people. Will C. I actually ended up seeing Will loads over the weekend. I think he was just camped across from us in Quiet. But yeah, I think I saw him maybe the first day, and we had a bit of a chat, and I just kept seeing him, and even in the arena, and it was cool. I love that guy. I think Ash Henson. I assumed it was Will in Quiet with our flag up, but it wasn't. It was Ash Henson. Who put it in the Discord a few days later. We obviously couldn't. We said we'd go and see anybody with our flag, but we couldn't go into Quiet, so we couldn't go and see him. But yes, we were very close to you, just the other side of the fence. If you saw ours. What else? There was a group of people we saw on the way to the doghouse. I think it must have been Saturday night. Stopped and chatted to you, and then one of the guys was like, "Oh, it's Adam," and he said, "I love your YouTube and your podcast." And all of a sudden, like, "Oh, it's you as well," like, and spoke to me, and that was quite cool, because normally it's just people stopping you. Like, okay, gotta wait.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I thought that's where the Simon Bond song was just started, like having to wait for you, talking to people. But yeah, that was cool. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Barely. I was a bit pissed up, but I do remember it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to apologize to a lot of people this year, because a lot of people would have spoken to me when I was highly intoxicated, which would have been quite a lot over this weekend. So apologies to everyone.
Yeah.
Hopefully I was nice. I think I'm always nice, but there would have been a few conversations that happened this year that I definitely don't remember. So yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Cool. My cousin's daughter was there, Sasha. I don't actually know if she listens to the podcast, but she has bought a t-shirt from us. And I spoke to you a while back, like looking at her Facebook and her social media pages and everything. I swear she goes to like 6 to 8 gigs a month, which is insane. So Sasha, I was keeping an eye out for you over the weekend, but I didn't get a chance to see you at all. I assumed you were probably down way closer to the front than I was, because you're way younger than me. And I think going on your pictures, you probably were. So yeah, I hope you had a good time there. There was another person who stopped me, actually. It always feels good to get stopped, because like I said, when we first started, you were getting stopped all the time and nobody knew who I was. So like, I kind of want to talk about it a little bit, because it's kind of new to me, if that's okay. But yeah, during Trivium's set on a Saturday morning, I walked off to get some food, and a girl sort of, what?
Sorry, you said during Trivium set, and that set me off.
I wrote that deliberately for that. Yeah, I just walked up to get some food, and a girl sort of shouted back at me, "Oh, dear download!" And turned around, and was like, "Oh yeah, hello," and she was like, "I love you," and blew me a kiss. And I'm pretty sure her boyfriend was next to her. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Yeah, thank you. We didn't stop have a chance to sort of stop and have a chat. I was starving as well, so I didn't particularly.
Do you know what? That might be the same person. There was someone in guest who was driving out when me and my brother walking in there, and they just shouted out of their car, "Simon Bond, I love you!" And I was like, I can't see who you are. I have no idea. So if you're listening,
when we were getting our wristbands.
No, this was after that.
Oh.
It was when me and brother went back to the car. I can't remember what day it was.
Okay.
Some other car, and they just drove past and just yelled that out. And I was like, yeah, thank you. Bye. Don't know who you are. I can't see you. So that may have been the same person. I don't know.
Awesome. But now you mentioned it, yeah, when we were waiting for our wristbands, there was somebody who shouted across out their car, wasn't there, on the way in?
Yeah.
Simon Bond.
I just stood there like, hi, just waving like a moron.
And obviously, loads more of you stopped to chat to us.
Yeah, so yeah, it's always great to have people come over and say hello, and I never take it for granted. So yeah, thank you very much for coming over and saying hello to me and Adam, of course. But yeah, he obviously has a lot less FaceTime on social media, so people hear his voice, but they don't necessarily know what he looks like. So yeah. But anyway, thank you very much, and obviously we always appreciate the support. We bloody love you.
Yeah, thank you. And it was way more than any other year this year that people recognised me, so it was cool.
Predictions, real quick.
Okay,
real quick for 2026. There's some names floating around, so I'll just give a plethora of names that I think it could be. So, Ghost, possibility.
Yeah.
Parkway Drive, I hear a lot, but I'm still not 100% on that one, but it's a possibility. Maiden, I hear. It is about time Maiden came back to Download. So
Yeah.
again, a
Yeah.
huge possibility. I hear Slipknot a lot as well, which again, it's been a few years since they played and they're always regular.
Yeah.
Bit of a left field one now, but a lot of people are saying Muse possibly as well.
Okay.
And I missed the Muse Download year, so I would love if Muse headline Download. I'll be well up for that. And Linkin Park is another one that people are throwing out there. So yeah, not really much metal there, but a lot of bands that could possibly be headliners for 2026. But me and my brother, as always, every year, have everything crossed for Nickelback.
Yeah.
And a wish list one for me, we've got Green Day. A wish list one for me, again, is Foo Fighters. I think Foo Fighters have to play Download at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. You said all of the main ones there. I think I would always love to see Red Hot Chili Peppers there as well, headlining at some point.
Chili's, yeah. I've heard sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not things about Chili's, but I would still, yes, I've never seen Chili's. I would totally be up for that.
Yeah, cool. We have a guy in our Discord who I don't know who he is. He's told us many things that he's heard. He's not Lee, the other guy that was predicting or leaking things years in advance. Liquid Jeff. He's somebody in the industry, but I don't think he's ever going to tell us who. So he said that it's 100% not Parkway Drive.
Thank God.
He's heard.
If it's Parkway Drive, I'm coming after you, mate. I am going to come after you. I'm coming after you hard as well, okay? Yeah?
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Well, obviously,
It'll be fisticuffs.
My prediction was Parkway Drive did the secret set last year as part of their contract for next year. Because you book them 2 years in advance. I think that was just that might have been just me wanting things to line up. Well, line up properly. It couldn't
the
have
stars
just been
to align.
a random secret set because they wanted them to. It was like, yes, there's a reason. There's a reason for everything.
But it could be future bait. Could be. But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, nobody's talking about Limp Bizkit, which Andy said, next time they come back, they're headlining. It annoys me that...
And they're making a new album as well, so that's a very big possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, it annoys me that they're all saying that Spirit Box are a future headliner. But all the other ones, Linkin Park, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Linkin Park are there. Wouldn't surprise me if Ghost are there. And Maiden, like you said, bound to come back sooner rather than later because...
Well, like you just said, if next year was Linkin Park, Ghost and Maiden, that would be of no surprise to me at all. And I would be extremely excited to see the first Ghost headline set because I think that would be something special.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. And I think they should stick with 2 older headliners or 2 well-known headliners and 1 new one instead of
one
having...
gamble. Yeah, I think that's a good formula.
Yeah.
A good formula to go with. 2 established acts that have played before that can draw the numbers. It's not a gamble for Ghost because they're massive, so I wouldn't really call it a gamble, but a new headliner.
Okay, yeah, new headliner.
Yeah.
Do you know one band?
Anyway,
yeah.
Should we,
last one.
Last one. Go on.
We're finishing. Last one. I know I've...
Somehow, Russ, and you're just like, we don't want to give too much of this away because we've been talking about this for the whole next fucking year, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have been thinking about System of a Down again recently. I thought they'd stopped playing. I thought they stopped touring, but they recently headlined something over in America, didn't they? And I think that's what got me thinking about them. And I'm like, could they headline? I would actually quite like to see them play again. I don't know about headlining, but they've got a lot of good songs. So maybe I think if they come back, they probably will headline. And I probably will enjoy it.
I'd like to see them play.
I'd
like to see them play. I don't know if I'd like to see them headline because I really, really didn't enjoy their set last time they played.
Yeah.
And they looked super bored. And it was like,
okay,
no one's enjoying this performance.
Yeah.
Not even you. But, I like a lot of their stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I won't be disappointed. I'll just be like, okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I think I've flipped a little bit on them. Maybe I could... watch them as a headline again, but I don't know at the minute. Okay, but yeah, so that is our predictions for next year. Right, that really does have to be it for this episode, no matter how much we want to keep talking. So we have to say a huge thank you to our Patreons, Duncan Scott, Ash Henson, Joe Butler, Mike Ferris, Andy Taylor, Liam Hopwood, Tom West, Vicky Rutter, Ethan Brown, Matthew, Chris Henderson, Scoot, Ben Sacconi, Henry Richardson, Chris Hambridge, Sean Schofield, Philippe the Flipchart for Download 2026, and James. I love that list. You absolute legends, all of you. And speaking of Philippe the Flipchart, I have been talking with Download again. I haven't heard anything back from Jenny and Danica, but I'm working on it. I'm working on us being in the doghouse, or not doghouse, in the main village next year. So hopefully we can get there, and we'll bring Philippe as well. We'll bring 2 Philippes. Philippe 2, maybe. I don't know. We'll work on it.
Philippe
We'll do something
2.
fun.
Well, Felipe 1's broken, and he definitely didn't make the trip back from Download.
Okay.
So,
Didn't he? Excellent. Philippe. Yeah. Cool. Right, we're going to go. Simon, do you want to plug everything about your YouTube?
yeah, I've got a YouTube. Go and watch it. It's really good.
Simon Bond on YouTube. Simon Bond.
On
He's a
YouTube.
man.
So-
I
He's a motherfucking dude. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to put the song in here. I'm going to put the song in here.
God.
Definitely. Don't fuck me over for copyright. All right.
Oh, you're getting screwed, mate. You're getting screwed. I want that cash. I want that cashish.
Cash. We don't make any money on YouTube. Okay, yeah, so that is it for this episode. Like I said, go check out Simon Bond. Like we said last episode, we are going to be doing way more for the Patreons. So if you want to sign up to the Patreon, your support will be hugely appreciated. Every penny we get goes back into the podcast, and you get some cool stuff. And we're going to be putting more episodes out, more little fun chats for you to listen to as well. Other than that, if you want to find anything else, email address, Discord link, click on the episode description and it will drop down. You'll see a Linktree. Everything everything you might want to find is in there. But yeah, so that is it for this episode. So it's a goodbye from Simon.
Goodbye.
And a goodbye from me. Goodbye.